All right, we're back. Um, the Senate finally flinched here recently. We're going to break down what's in the new bill that ended this government shutdown, who wins, who's not going to be so happy about it, and while we'll probably be right back here in January to do this all over again. So if you've been following the shutdown or the government shutdown saga, obviously good news. There's movement in Washington. Surprise, surprise. After 40 days, the Senate passed a compromise bill that could open the doors of government again, which would be a good thing. But so let's start with the basics. This isn't a grand bargain or a huge bill. It's a continuing resolution, right? So it's a temporary fix that funds the government through January 30th of 2026. So not too far out in the future here. And lawmakers in the meantime are going to continue to argue over the budget. It's what lawmakers seem to do best. Here are a few bright spots that are coming out of this continuing resolution. Veterans Affairs, agriculture, and military construction get a full year of funding, right? That's through next September, and that's going to introduce a rare dose of stability into this whole environment that we've been living in. Every furloughed worker during the shutdown and every essential worker who's been showing up unpaid gets full back pay, so rewarding those people who worked during the shutdown. So at least some of the pain ends for them, soon here. Who's celebrating? Obviously, federal employees who are going to get back to work again. SNAP recipients and veterans, they're going to be the big winners here once the government opens again and all those programs get funded again. That bill is going to actually extend food assistance through next September, and it'll prevent mass layoffs until at least January. So at least January, which isn't too far in the future. Politically speaking, politicians are doing what they do best. Everyone's claiming victory. Doesn't matter which side of the aisle they're on. Democrats get steady funding for their key programs, and Republicans blocked what they saw as a blank check for spending on healthcare. Here's the fine print, though. The bill only promises a future vote on extending the Affordable Care Act premium tax credits, not an actual extension. So it's just a promise. What should you read into that? The fight's not over, just postponed for a little while. We're going to probably do this all over again. So what happens next from here? The Senate's done. The House votes next. And if it passes, the president will sign it. The shutdown ends, agencies reopen, and paychecks start flowing again. But let's be clear. This is simply a timeout. The same battles over spending, over healthcare, over workforce cuts are just waiting to be fought over again. So yes, it is progress, but it's also Congress just, you could say they're hitting the snooze button on a very expensive alarm clock here moving forward. So quick recap of what's going on. Government's funded through January 30th if this gets through the House and the president signs it. Federal workers are going to get their back pay. SNAP and veterans programs are going to get extended. Healthcare subsidies still in limbo, pending future negotiations. So after 6 costly weeks and billions of dollars in lost productivity, DC finally blinked. Markets, in this case, are going to breathe a little easier just for now, even if it's just for a couple of months. But the can has really been kicked down the road. So don't get too comfortable with the government reopening. In Washington, every resolution comes with a sequel. We're going to be right back here doing this again in a couple months, most likely.